It's unbelievable, Jeff!
Yes, it is, because for the third time in a row, we got multiple candidates for Cock of the Month. So let's get the show on the road. Hello, I'm Mr. G, and welcome back to another one of my videos. It's the end of the month, which means it's time for my prestigious award. Like February and March, we seem to have a huge number of people making complete knobs of themselves, but luckily I have whittled the selection down to 6, so let's get started before somebody else shows up. Our first candidate is former Desperate Housewives star Felicity Huffman. At the start of April, Huffman pleaded guilty amongst a dozen prominent parents in a college admission scam. Their parents were charged last month, which the authorities said involved rigging standard test scores and bribing coaches at Yale and Georgetown. Huffman was accused of paying $15,000 to a consultant disguised as a charitable donation to boost her daughter's SAT score. Apparently, the charges are punishable by up to 20 years in prison, but the plea agreement indicates prosecutors will seek a sentence of 4 to 10 months. Which shows that once again, money talks. Is that right? I don't think so. Huffman has taken responsibility of her actions and would accept the consequences. She said, "My daughter knew absolutely nothing about my actions, and in my misguided way, I had betrayed her." The thing is, if she goes to jail, she will most likely have a comfortable cell for her to sit her punishment in. If I didn't know better, this sounds exactly like one of her episodes of a former programme. Next! Still on American actresses, Alison Mack is next on my list. Former Smallville star Mack pleaded guilty to charges she manipulated women into becoming sex slaves for a cult spiritual leader. Mack wept as she admitted her crimes and apologised to the women who prosecutors say were exploited by Keith Raniere and his self-help group. She will be sentenced on the 11th of September. For what I understand of the case, Mack obtained compromising information on the two women and threatened to make public unless they performed the sexual acts. Also, from what I understand, the women are under the age of 17, which makes this case a little bit more disturbing, and I hope they throw the book at her. Next! Next up, we have anti-vaxxer Brittany Kara. Recently, Kara released a video claiming that vaccines are bad, and the reason she knows this is because they aren't mentioned in the Bible. I know, incredible as it seems, there is a new level of stupidity, and it has risen in her. Here's a short clip of her video.
I just decided to Google what the Bible says about vaccination. There's nothing in the Bible that talks about vaccines. So I just want you guys to think about that. So if God knew in the future that he was going to help create these amazing things that were going to just change our health and be the best, scientific advancement, it's just, oh my gosh, they're so great. Like, why isn't there any inkling of talk about these things called vaccinations coming into being later to save people? If that was really God's plan and they're so amazing, then why isn't it in there at all?
Of course, the citizens of the internet decided to give their honest opinion on her statement, with comments such as these. By her logic, if the New Testament is so great, why isn't it mentioned in the Old Testament? Is this real? This can't be real. There can't be a person who is actually that stupid. I'm afraid it is real, and yes, a person can be that stupid, as the internet has shown us that many times. Is filming yourself on a cell phone while speaking nonsense crap bullshit mentioned in the Bible? And this real gem. Okay, cars, trains and planes aren't mentioned in the Bible either. She should sell her car and travel by donkey. Nice try, Karen, but no. Not this time. Next! Moving into the political spectrum now, our next candidate is UKIP councillor Padmini Nissanga. Nissanga landed herself in hot water after a post on Facebook branded EU Remain voters as traitors who should face the death penalty. The council which she resides on are unhappy with her posting, and Swell Labour representative Roger Truelove is calling for her name to be removed from ballot papers for the local council elections. Nissanga posted the comments back in August last year, and opposition councillors recently received screenshots in their pigeonholes. Truelove said, "The stuff on Facebook is absolutely revolting and repugnant. I'm not saying that people can't have free speech on their social media, but they should also show a bit of respect and a standard of fairness. She clearly has not. As you can see, the post clearly attacks Muslims and accusing half of Remainers to be foreigners. She is in a position of responsibility. No matter how you feel inside, there are certain things you shouldn't say in public without consequences of your actions. Next! Our penultimate candidate is Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas. He recently defended religious extremists and claimed that atheists can't be trusted because they don't believe in God. Thomas, speaking at Pepperdine University in California, used his platform to defend religious extremists like Judge Amy Coney Barrett, a judge who believes a religious faith comes before the law and that the Bible precedes the US Constitution. He went on to say, "I think it's really interesting that people in a profession where we all take an oath that would look at people who have a strong faith as somehow not good, when if you're an atheist, what does an oath mean?" Now, as a person who doesn't believe in God, I find that very insulting, because an oath in a court of law is an oath regardless if you have a faith or not. Why is your view of a God more important than a view that there isn't one? It's surely a matter of perspective. Just because you believe in God doesn't make you more trustworthy than someone who doesn't. Unfortunately, he was in a room full of people who shared his views and cheered every time he made his remarks. It seems once again it proves that levels of stupidity have found its seat in more places of power. Next! Our final entry in my list this month is none other than Hassanal Bolkiah, aka the Sultan of Brunei. Bolkiah has found himself in a bit of a shitstorm after the Sultan called for gay people to be stoned to death as punishment. Many people, including celebrities such as Judge Rinder, have urged people to boycott places like the Dorchester Hotel because it's owned by the Sultan of Brunei. Rinder wrote in his column, "The man who initiated these laws owns 2 hotels in our city. Boycotting them won't touch the sides of the Sultan's bank account, but I would advise you to avoid them anyway." Brunei is refusing to back down over its controversial anti-gay laws. It defended itself by writing, "The penal sentences have had stoning to death and amputation, imposed for theft, robbery, adultery and sodomy, have extremely high evidentiary threshold, requiring no less than 2 or 4 men of high moral standing as witnesses to the exclusion of every form of circumstantial evidence." In this modern age, people need to be more tolerant of other people. No matter how you feel about homosexuality, people need to stop judging or even killing people over it. As Brunei is a member of our Commonwealth, our country should make an example and expel them until they reverse their barbaric laws. So there you have it, our candidates for Cock of the Month. And like previous months, I think they all deserve the award. So it's time for the jingle.
Fuck you very, very much. 'Cause we hate what you do and we hate your whole crew, so please don't stay in touch.
So what do you think? Who do you think should have won? Or do you believe they all deserve the title? Let me know in the comments. I hope you liked this video. If you did, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Take care and I'll see you all soon. Bye for now.